No, they're doing a mat, double mat for the balcony. They're fantastic. These are good. I think today is going to be the last day because it's high for them. I think today is going to be the last day. The stairs, there's beef on it. The carpenter says the steel bender has to do the chiseling work, and the steel bender said it's a carpenter, so I didn't get involved. They can sort it out themselves. Again, it boils down to dough. So I would say it would be the mason because if he's the overall foreman, but then that's why he's disappeared. He's disappeared because he knows if he stays there, someone's going to tell him to do it. So I would leave it and see and let them sort it out within themselves. Not everything you have to get involved in. Not everything. What? It's not everything you have to get involved in because if you get involved in, let them sort it out. We boil down to money at the end of the day. Because I heard one of the people up there saying that if you don't mind, we'll do it and you pay us extra for it. But it's part of someone's job. So the next time, so now, when you're watching this video, you should know that there's going to be some chiseling involved. So count it as part of your negotiation, basically. Count it as part of your negotiation. Anywhere someone can extort a bit of extra dough, they would. That little hole I did here, that little one, I have to go and get next man to come and do it. It took him like 3 seconds. And I gave him like almost the day's wages, but it's because I've seen him like hanging around and haven't really given anything before. So that was to say thanks anyway and hello and blah blah. So that's why I purposely didn't. And that was like a 3-second job. But I gave it through the mason, so he'll probably take his half. So yeah, so every time someone can extort, no one does nothing for free. Let's just put it that way. That's the moral of the story. When you come here, just remember, if he's hanging around with you, if they're hanging around with you as friends, that means nothing. If you don't give them anything, they're gone. So almost the best people to hang around with are people that have their own income. If someone has their own income, as in got their own business, then they don't tend to need anything from you, and so therefore you can kind of do what you need to do. If you don't do that, boy, as long as you've got a slightly higher income, not that I've got any income now anyway, then it's not going to work, because when they're hanging around with you, all they're thinking is how much dough can I get for the end of the day? And that's not being generous. It's just being that you don't want to hang around with someone only because they want money. You know, cash dough, everything, blah blah. It's not only because they want cash. That's ridiculous. So you have to factor that in. So if you want to come and live here, you take your time. Eventually, you find the right people. They got their own, either their work or they don't need nothing from you. They got their own place. And then you have something rapport with them. Generally, it will be people that have been here before, traveled as well, or if they haven't traveled, like at least they've traveled abroad before, or they understand how it is. So the local, you just make banter, and then I say you move on. Else, every time you meet them in the morning, they're gonna want something. And you could say you don't mind sharing, but it will be to a point, because I'll tell you something, you're gonna share it to a point, and then you can't, if you want to live here permanently, then you can't have that as part of your so basically you leave the house, you think of what you're gonna eat, and you think of what every next man is gonna eat. That's too much. If you got a good role, fine. But yeah, that's what I've learned. That's what I've learned. So Obi when the BBDI is cool. Don't need BBD, I forget it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So bear that in mind. If you're looking to settle down, you got your own place. Eventually, there are good people out there. I got people that go and sit there. Oh, what you want to have, blah, blah, anything. I don't really want to have anything, but it's like they don't want nothing from me because they're cool. They're sitting in front of their business. They're making money. So you can now have a good, genuine friendship. That's got nothing to do with money. Else, forget it. It will not work 100%. And no one does anything for free. We're hospitable, right? At the beginning. So say for example, I get stuck right now. Within seconds, you have people around trying to help you out. Say your car gets stuck. Or say you visit home, you got people that will try and get you water and blah, blah, everything's cool. You've got like a day or two and that's it. Apart from that, you have to establish new relationships here. You have to establish new relationships. And to do that, just like anywhere else, you don't just meet the next person and just be friendly. Even though they're friendly, they have their own camaraderie between themselves. Because these guys would have worked for ages. They would have attended school. So they have their friends within themselves. You understand? They have their own friends, so blah, blah, teenage friends. Maybe they go to their own weddings, family, blah, blah. So they have that. So when you come down, like anyone else, everyone's going to be cautious. Then they'll be studying you. You know, what kind of person are you? Are you generous? Are you not? If you go and sit somewhere and like a beer bar or something like that, and you go to your local one, you have to kind of just like abroad. You have to buy around. Not that you get around. The round only goes one way. The round only goes one way, mate. You have to get your own. You buy around. Once in a while, you buy around. Oh, this guy is quite good. Oh, this guy is generous. So almost, it's got to do with gifts. You kind of like that behavior. You kind of really like giving gifts. If you study the history from when we started coming down and everything, other nations started coming down, i.e. the Portuguese and everything. When you come down, you see the king gifts. That thing has been traditional all the way throughout. So giving is synonymous to being like, obviously a kind person, and with that, then a bit of trust comes into play. Because I suppose it means that you've been, you're not mean. You're not a mean person. It means that, you're prepared to share, and that's the kind of person I can trust. So if you came down and you said, why am I giving this? Why am I giving that? Boy, you have to. But you have to be strategic about it. Again, you have to be strategic about it. You got friends and family, especially your family, What I'm trying to do now, the technique I'm doing now is I want to set up a share of my own pay or funds for the year. So say for example, someone says, oh, I want to do hairdressing, or I want to learn a trade or whatever. Then you kind of help them out. So if they identify something they want to do, then then you help them out. You help one or a couple people out. And that's it. That means they'll probably, number one, you probably ain't gonna hear from them again. And number two, you're helping them out. So when you speak to them, it will be on a conversational level. And once I found out, even if you take a couple $100 and come aside for the year, you'll be amazed that people will just ask for it. The money will be tiny. Then you help them out. Maybe they need 400 CDs to start doing learn how to do a trade. That's a good thing. That's like you're helping someone out. You get me? If you do that every year. So I find that key, especially the ones that have identified they genuinely want to do something. I think that's better than to say, blanket giving it randomly or not giving at all. Because the saying is, if my brother's on the top of the mango tree, I shouldn't be hungry. Understand? If your brother's on top of the mango tree, you should never go hungry. That's the thinking. So by virtue of you building something, you're on top of the mango tree. So therefore, you shouldn't be hungry, and they shouldn't be hungry. So you should share what you got enough, even though you know you don't have enough, but it's more enough than someone else has in their pocket. So therefore, give it. You go get that in your mind. You have to understand that. If you don't understand that, that's a problem. You have to get that. You have to get that. Yeah? You right now on top of the mango tree, it doesn't matter what life you're living. It doesn't matter what time your life you're living abroad. The fact that you've gone abroad, that's it. So when you return to heaven here, you know it, but it's not gonna work. So please bear that in mind. At all costs, bear that in mind. So if you have that in the cost of mind, it doesn't cost a lot, can help out. You know, sometimes someone will need 1,000 Ghana cedis. You calculate it within your budget, and then you just help them out. You could even say, oh, I can give you 500, add 500 onto it, so that they know it's not coming just like that. I'll tell you something, things like that are quite good. You know, that way you've helped someone establish something. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. But yeah, I just want to show you the day-to-day work as it's working, so you know how they need to tie it. Let me see if I can make it a bit closer. I might go to the top, right there at the edge, so you might not be able to see, but I just want to show. You see, everyone that they're discussing, the names they mentioned, they know the people. So they've got camaraderie. You can't just come and establish like that. If you might not trust them, they might not trust you. It takes a while. They smile with you, but the trust is not there. So after a while, and after a banter, then you get to know people. Then you know who's good for you and who's not.